If you would go back, would you be a K-pop idol again?
Flew over to Korea, trained for about 9 months, and then I debuted in 2012 under a group called Newest, whatever you guys want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, after my group disbanded, actually, my situation was not good at all. Like, I had no money. I was broke. I made nothing when I was in my idol group. I made $0. So I had to move into like a Gucci one. Like things were not easy.
How often do you guys actually like meet and like hang out with your like band members?
Now that like I'm like doing well for myself, it's like, hey, what are you doing? Let's go out for a drink. Like, you know, we have to go eat. It's been like so many years. I'm just like, I cut all those people out of my life.
It got to be at least 10,000 trainees in Korea. And out of those 10,000, a couple hundred a year debut.
Right.
And out of the couple hundred that debut, like 1% of that actually does well.
Fans will be waiting in like the stairway, parking lot of the apartment.
Bringing Korea one slice closer to the world with extraordinary and fun toppings. Welcome to the Korean Pizza Club. I'm your host, David, and we have some special guests in the studio. Another podcast series on YouTube and probably Spotify and all the other platforms. Go check them out. The Korean Cowboys.
Woo!
Welcome. Yes.
This is very strange.
It is. Right?
It's a very weird feeling.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been interviewed. So
Right.
interesting atmosphere.
Yeah. So I reached out to them. I love your guys' podcast, and I was like, wow, we have similar names as well. So
Right.
might as well just collab, right? So yeah, thank you for coming today. And could you give us like a short introduction to the listeners?
Sure.
Aaron,
Yeah.
you go for it.
Hi everyone, my name is Aaron. I've been an idol since 2012 to 2022, right? Last year. I promoted under a team called Newest, N-U-E-S-T or Newest, whatever you guys want to pronounce it, however you guys want to pronounce it. And yeah, now I'm doing my solo stuff, and I am a host on the Korean Cowboys podcast.
Yes.
Woo! Yes, hello everybody. My name is Joel. I was an idol up until 2016. And ever since then, I have been doing a lot of variety show work and other types of broadcasting. And I am the other host of the Korean Cowboys podcast. Nice to meet you all.
Yes. Thank you for coming again. And yeah, we have some K-pop idols in the studio. Yes. So first time. Actually, you guys are not active nowadays, right?
I mean, we do solo stuff here and there.
Solo stuff. Okay.
We do like yenin.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I recently released a solo song, my first solo song.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, we do like emceeing stuff as well. So
got it.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're doing a lot of stuff related to media and related to music and all that sorts. Okay. I'm just curious, how did you guys get to meet and how did you guys form the podcast in the first place?
So
How
I
did
think
we do that? I don't
think
even
we
remember.
met circa like 2015, 16ish. Just through like a gathering of friends. We were at a 술jari.
Yeah,
Of course.
Of course.
It's Korea.
Yeah, and so we just drank with each other a lot one summer, and we got really close. And we found out that we actually lived in the same area.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started hanging out a lot, and he's pretty much my best friend. Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
So 영광이네.
I'm so touched.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how we met, and the whole podcast came about basically like, we always talked about it was like pipe dream type of thing. It was like, what if we just got the two of us just talking and like we just recorded it and threw it up on the net, like because the things that we talk about are so interesting.
Yeah.
At least to us. But then we were like, let's try it. So like, we kind of put it together, and then that's how we came to be.
Okay. So you guys are best friends. You lived in the same area, and you wanted to start a podcast. So what do you guys generally talk about in your podcast?
So I think we just talk about a lot of random topics, honestly. But we are on a break right now. We just ended season 3. We're on
Wow, season
hiatus.
3. Okay.
Yeah, so we're on a hiatus, and we're actually going to revamp the whole program right now. We are having meetings and discussions about that, so you guys can look forward to that. But I think the past seasons the first season was kind of like an introductory season.
Yeah.
In terms of who we are, what our experiences were. The second season was like a hodgepodge of like random topics. And the third season was a lot of interviews.
With other K-pop idols, I assume? Okay.
We tried to we kind of wanted to try our hand at interviewing people so that give a platform to people. Basically, it was kind of like things that you can't say or you weren't allowed to say about yourself.
Okay.
On regular radio or
Right.
on TV, or the things that are very mediated.
Right.
We kind of wanted to give a platform to do that, and it was a lot of fun.
That's great.
Mhm.
That's great because like I have a K-pop channel as well called DKDKTV.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I've interviewed a lot of idols in the past. And it was like honestly kind of struggling for both sides because, I prepare nice questions. The company says no, and the idols have to tiptoe through it. And, they don't have that much freedom. And I
Right.
was like, if there was like this nice, podcast or radio platform that everybody could genuinely just, get along, speak their minds and stuff. So I guess you guys are providing that platform right now. So
Yeah, and I think that's also like one of like the 매력s of podcasts is honestly like because if you go on 방송 in Korea, like whether it be like KBS or MBC or whatever, there are things that you can and can't talk about.
Right.
But on a podcast, I feel like it's very free and you can just speak your mind on topics. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to like interviewing celebrities or
Right.
stuff like that, especially because like we also had similar experiences, it's easy to relate and open up about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that was definitely like one of the major comfort points for people that did come on and
Right.
get interviewed by us.
Okay. I love the work you're doing right now. So, before we get into the actual topic, could we get like a brief, in a nutshell, kind of summary of what you've been doing throughout the whole careers of your lives and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, how you started, why you started, like
Yeah.
yeah.
In a nutshell, I think around 2009 maybe. I was born and raised in LA, K-Town. So we have a yearly festival called 장터
Okay.
in LA, K-Town, and I got casted there when I think I was a sophomore in high school. And after I graduated high school, I ended up signing the contract with the company. Flew over to Korea, trained for about 9 months,
Whoa.
and then I debuted in 2012, March 15th, under a group called Newest, whatever you guys want to call it.
Yeah, that's always the question.
Yeah,
to fans.
it's never been like explained or properly told to us. But yeah, for the past 10 years, I've been promoting under that group, releasing albums, songs, going on 음악방송, going on 예능s, doing concerts. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, and it was intense, I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years, my whole 20s.
Whole 20s.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Joel?
And for me, I actually moved here in 2006, so I've been in Korea a long time.
Yeah.
And I was going to college in Korea. In I think 2012, I ended up getting casted to be a trainee, and I trained for a year. And after a year, I debuted, promoted for a couple years. Group sank a little bit, a little bit. It wasn't that great, you know. So, and then after my group disbanded, I just kind of have been doing the solo thing. So,
Okay. Well, what I've noticed is like you guys must have been good because normally when I hear like the stories of other idols, they train for years and years and years, right? Like 6 years, 5 years, something like that. But you guys are like 9 months, 1 year.
I don't think it was like a 문제 of like, oh, you guys are good or bad. I think it was just for my situation personally. I think our company just wanted to release a boy group really fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The timing.
The timing. So I think maybe we came out a little underprepared, just in my personal opinion. But I mean, things got better obviously as we got on stage more and as the time passed. What about you, Joel?
My group needed an English speaker.
Oh,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Just like that.
Yeah, like they were like, just go out and look pretty and like stand there quietly and speak English when we need you.
I love it.
I mean, I'll be honest, like
Yeah. Every group needs an English speaker, right? Nowadays, especially.
Nowadays, yep.
But you guys are categorized maybe as like second gen, right?
I think so. I think we
second
are
gen?
categorized as second generation.
We did the math on this one time, but I don't remember what we agreed on. 2.5, something like that. Yeah.
Second generation, something like that. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's kind of amazing to think that the companies even back then like were thinking, oh, we need like a global audience and we need an English speaker and like that. So.
And this was before all of the the American people promoting in America, getting on Billboard. This is way before all that.
So they were on the right track. I mean, obviously, you guys are fluent in English, so you're Korean American, right? And how did that like fact being a Korean American affect you when you were doing your K-pop idol careers?
So I think nowadays, from what I hear, it's not too bad. But honestly, when we first debuted, like back in our day. Back in our day, when we first debuted, I felt like there was like a lack of freedom because I wasn't allowed to have a cell phone.
Yeah.
None of our members were. Actually, I was the only one because I told them, this is a kind of a BS excuse, but I was like, I'm on a time difference with my parents. I need to talk to my parents.
That's true.
And I kind of use that as an excuse to like,
it's a legit,
but it is a legit reason,
exactly.
as well. But there was like no cell phones, no iPads, none of that.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to go out of our dorms in the beginning.
Oh my God.
So definitely when I first moved to Korea, there was like a lack of freedom that I've never experienced. And that kind of like, it kind of put me in a weird situation where like I didn't really want to know if I wanted to continue with this path when I was a Yeonjipsing.
Yeah.
And then I ended up debuting and I was like, well, it's too late now. I debuted and I'm under contract. So what am I going to do? Yeah.
I think for me, I didn't find it to be that difficult. I mean, it was much more strict than anything I was used to.
Yes.
Same thing. No phone, couldn't go out of the dorms, like blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I mean, of course, I had a secret phone, but I later got caught, and boy, did I pay for it. But yeah, I mean, I think this is going to sound really cliche, but like my dad was in the military and like I grew up in a military household. So like I was kind of used to strictness a little bit. So it wasn't like so like destroyed my mind or anything. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't like I can't handle this. Like it was kind of like that.
I asked this question because like, in the industry, like the K-pop industry, like the Koreans, they know like what to expect when they're coming in the industry. So they know there's going to be restrictions and all that kind of stuff. But I know some other idols as well that have Korean American backgrounds, and with the cultural differences and the freedom, and when they come here, this is like prison for them. Some of them,
in a lot of ways, it was.
Yeah. They just can't understand why does this have to be this strict, So that was an interesting point.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting, but I also think if you are going to promote in Korea and you want to become like a successful Korean singer, I do think you need to adjust and conform to the Korean, like I guess, not ideals, Korean
the Korean way.
The Korean way, to some degree,
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to be like shady or anything like that, but a lot of foreign, I guess, people that come here and do K-pop, some of them have this mindset where it's like, well, I'm gonna do it my way. I'm not gonna conform. Like I'm gonna, do everything the way I want to do it. Like I don't macho to anybody. Like that whole thing. And if you have that mindset, it's not gonna work out. I can guarantee you that.
True.
I mean, because like even like if you think about it, if a Korean artist went to America, they'd have to perform and like get used to the system that America is using, right? So I mean, it's the same thing, same principle. I think it's a given, in my opinion.
Right. So that's good advice from your Sunbiz for the K-pop trainees out there. Yeah, so let's move on to the real topic now. So this is a part that I've noticed not a lot of people have shared after their groups have disbanded and stuff. So first of all, a friendly question. What are you up to these days? What's your life look like nowadays?
Yeah. So I mean, we're obviously hosting the Korean Cowboys podcast. We are on a hiatus right now. Besides that, I'm doing a lot of MC work at the moment. I just released a single a few months ago. And I'm just going on Yenings like here and there. So I think that's how I'm spending my time.
Okay. And Joel?
For me, I currently guest on a radio show on Arirang Radio called Kpopin. And I also just a couple weeks ago finished filming a yeneung, a variety show as a fixed member of the cast. So we finished all the shooting for that. So I'm just kind of resting. It really did take it out of me a little bit. So just resting until my next yeneung or whatever that I go on to.
Okay. So definitely I can see the common thing that you're still in the showbiz, you're still in the media industry. And of course, your K-pop idol experience made you train for that, right? And you could take leverage from that career reputation as well, right? So do you enjoy still being in this space?
Yeah, honestly, at first I was very hesitant about continuing this path because I've been in a group for so long, and whether I go out on TV on like a show, like whatever it may be, I always had someone to lean on. But now that I'm alone, in the beginning I was very hesitant. I was a little scared, but I'm getting used to it now, and I think I actually enjoy it.
Okay. Wait, so is it like a single man company right now? Agency?
No, I'm actually a freelancer.
Oh, freelancer.
Yeah, so I actually decided not to go into like a label or company because I was under a company for 11 years.
Yeah, and they take a big chunk of your revenue, right?
Yeah, so. I also that's part of that too.
Freelancer got its pros. Yeah.
There are definitely pros and cons to being a freelancer, but at the moment I am satisfied with the amount of work that I'm doing. and with my life right now. So yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear.
You're doing good.
I'm doing good for myself. Yeah.
So when you first, transitioned from the idol life to the normal life, let's just call it, did you have like any kind of identity crisis after the change of like, environment or lifestyle or anything like that?
I guess you can call me like an ex-idol, but in terms of the way I live right now, I still consider myself an idol, just not in a group anymore.
Yeah.
So the way I live, my mannerisms, all of that, I think they're pretty much the same as when I was in a group.
Right.
Like I tend to be careful when I go out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still have those tendencies with me. I think a lot of them are like kind of bad habits. Some things that maybe I should like lay down a little bit. But yeah, it's like a mindset. I've been in this mindset for so long now. It's kind of hard to change. So I think I'm just pretty much the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the same as you. Like, even though after my group disbanded, I had taken quite a few years off from the entertainment industry. I had no plans, honestly, of coming back to it, but just through a series of events, it just happened that way. But same as you, like, things that I might have done in my early 20s, there's no way that I would do them now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like clubbing and stuff like that. Like, not that it's a problem because I'm old enough to go and like have a good time, but like
I think you're a little too old to go.
Yeah, I'm a little bit too old to go to you know what I mean? Yeah, so I definitely think that just it's ingrained in me now, the whole like preserving your image, kind of presenting this image to people. Even if, listen, I'm not that famous, as famous as him. So like, it's not like a big deal for me, but it's like in the off chance that I do like blow up or something. Yeah. Stuff can, and it has for other people, come back and bite you in the butt. So you just need to be careful with your life. Like, just to, you never know.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah. You never know, for sure. Okay. Yeah, that's great mentality, I would say. Professional. But in terms of like daily life, have you felt anything like, when you're on the grind for the idol career, you're like, you wake up, you have a set schedule, you go to the practice room and dance every single day, you go to like the 방송국s and all that stuff. Once you were finished with that and you wake up in the morning and you're just like enjoying the morning sun and coffee and all that kind of stuff, how did it hit you?
I mean, for me, like, but part of the reason why I didn't go into a company after my contract ended was I wanted to just, have that freedom where I wasn't always sitting by my phone waiting for a call. You know what I mean? Because when you're in a company, you always get a call from whether it be your shijang, your Ida, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, sure, it's great, if they're calling about work and stuff, but it also kind of stressed me out because, there were things that I didn't want to do, but I had to. And now that I'm alone and, I'm in ex-idol or whatever, I have the freedom to choose what I can and can't do.
Yes.
So I'm definitely enjoying the fruits of freedom. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, for me, it's like, first of all, I'm in a company right now. I have a social. So like, I mean, I get excited when I get a phone call. I'm like, oh, I actually changed the ringtone to all my company people, so I know it's a work call. And I'm like, oh, time to work. But yeah, I mean, after my group disbanded, actually, my situation was not good at all. Like, I had no money. I was broke. I made nothing when I was in my idol group. I made $0. So I had to move into like a Goshiwon, like things were not easy. Yeah, like it was for a few years, it was really rough. So, I pulled myself up from my bootstraps and all that stuff. So it was partly free, but it was also really depressing because everything just ended in such a unceremonious way. Yeah, like it was not a grand goodbye. It was like just a
and the hustle had to just continue. So you have to get like jobs and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we got to eat out here. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So what are some stuff that you miss about the idol life though?
What do I miss about no, I definitely miss, when I was an idol, when I was in a group, I definitely had more opportunities to meet fans.
Fans, definitely.
So definitely, that's an aspect that I miss, and of course, having concerts and stuff. I have been having like yearly fan meetings since I left the company. I had my second one actually in May, but it wasn't like crazy big. But like I maybe like definitely like performing in like bigger venues maybe is something that I do miss. Not saying the smaller venues are bad. I love the smaller venues. I love like how interactive you can be. With the crowd, but maybe just I think performing more often, I would say, is something that I miss.
Performing more often. Okay. Yeah. So like how much in a regular basis do you perform nowadays?
Perform now? Honestly, I don't even know. I probably like less than 10 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah. Very, very rare to see me, I guess, sing or dance on stage anymore. Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I really do like to perform.
Yeah.
And before I was performing with my group, so it was pretty regular and there was a lot of people and everything. But now if I do perform on TV or on stage or something, it's like by myself.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot more pressure to do well when you're by yourself because there's nothing to cover you if you mess up. So, but I do miss performing a lot. And also, like, I miss the camaraderie of having a group.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
True that.
you know, they're all your friends and stuff at the end of the day. So I mean, I do miss that too, but I'm not to say that I don't like doing it by myself because it is fun. Yeah, those are the two big things.
Okay. Speaking of camaraderie, I'm curious, how often do you guys actually like meet and like hang out, like get in touch with your like band members?
I actually talk to my members on a pretty frequent basis. I would say like, you know, like once a week probably.
You still have like a group chat and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we still have a group chat. You know, I actually just called my other member, actually two of my members yesterday. We were on the phone for a while. But yeah, I like to keep in contact with them because it's not like we broke off in like a bad manner, you know. So yeah, I keep in contact with members pretty frequently.
Okay.
Joel? I mean, for me, my group was way bigger than his.
How many members?
I had 8 people in my group.
Wow, that's big.
And, you know, there's some that you're gonna, you know, be really close to and some that you're
nature.
not, you know? So like, I mean, some of them I haven't talked to in a long time. And then some of them I talk to them, you know, like you once a week.
Yeah.
So not that we're in a bad relationship, but it's just like, you know, life takes over and
of course.
you just, you know, 멀어져.
Right.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of,
It's the same for me too, because like I was a duo on a YouTube channel for 6 years.
Wow.
And then, you know, like the 7-year curse of like K-pop idol groups.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And the 7th year hit me as well as a YouTuber. And then we kind of split. And now we speak, but we speak only like business. So
really?
It's like, yeah, we got a job. So let's do the sponsor of the video. And
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, sometimes the only thing that some of my members will get from me is a coffee coupon on their birthday. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Right.
But you know, like the longer and like the closer you guys are like with each other, you know what I mean? Like you guys need that time away from each other as well.
Very true.
You know, so yeah, I think it's great.
I need about 10 more years away from some of them. I don't know.
Like all the friends around me are like, oh, are you hanging out with Danny nowadays and stuff? Why aren't you? I'm like, I saw him for 7 years, you know, every
like,
single day, you know?
Yeah, just
Can't look at that man.
Okay. So what is like one bucket list you had during your idol days, like you couldn't do because you were under contract, you were under the schedule and stuff, but once you become like freelance, what is one thing you achieved after?
Definitely starting a podcast.
Starting a podcast.
Because starting a podcast was something that I've been wanting to do even when I was under contract.
Really?
You know? But I think, you know, there are definitely, you know, limitations and restrictions on what you can and can't talk about, especially when you're an idol under contract.
Yes.
So that never took rise until after my contract ended and I had the freedom to do whatever the hell I wanted to do.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that was like the biggest thing on my bucket list was like just start a podcast. You know, whether it makes money or not doesn't matter. It's like a passion project for the both of us. So yeah, I think I checked off my bucket list.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Starting a podcast, of course. No, I'm kidding. Of course, that was one of the big things I wanted to have my own platform to speak. But I'm gonna be honest, the really big one was getting to perform on a particular show that I couldn't do when I was in a group. 불의 명곡.
Oh.
So I got to perform on there by myself.
Wait, why couldn't you go on that show when you were in a group?
Because my company had no power to get that for me.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, I'm just, you know, like, to be real, like, that it's a very prestigious show, and it's hard to get on and stuff. So, I mean, I was lucky enough to get to perform on it after my group disbanded.
Wow,
and it's
that's
like one of my bucket list things that I got to do.
Okay, that's
What did
amazing.
you sing?
What
did you sing
What?
on that show?
Oh, I sang 남진 선생님.
남진? That's a
둥지.
trot. 둥지. Wow.
Yep.
That's a unique selection of the song. Okay.
I do like my trot.
I remember that.
You should go on like the trot auditions maybe if you.
I've done that too.
Really?
Trot 전국 체전 on KBS.
We might be talking to the next Im Young-woong here.
No. I'm nowhere near as good as him. No way.
Yeah, the fandom around him is crazy. You know, it's crazy. Okay, so you spoke about like some habits you still have, like some kind of restraints, like psychologically you have. Could you share like in detail what are some examples, some stuff you still carry from the idol days?
I think I think when I go out, I have a tendency to like 눈치 봐 a
Nunchi,
lot.
yeah.
So wherever I go, whether
Yeah.
it be a restaurant or whatever, like I'll always scan the room
Ah.
to see if anyone like recognize me, if there are any cameras pointed at me.
If they recognize you, would you know it? Like by
Oh
their...
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
really?
Like,
I can tell.
I'm
Yeah.
like very good with that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like I'll be with them, and then one time I'll be like, "Hey, I think that person knows you." It's like, "Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
him or
I saw
her,
them
like
earlier.
way earlier."
Yeah. I'm like very fast with it.
Okay.
Yeah. But like it's like I said, 눈치 buying is a lot of what I do. It's because I don't want to make any mistakes in public. Not that I do anything bad in public.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Someone might record you and put it on Twitter or something like
There you
that.
go.
Yeah. I mean, you guys can record me if you see me. Like, I don't really talk about shit.
Uh-huh.
I just drink and have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like I think things like that.
Mm.
I definitely still have a tendency to, I
Yeah.
guess, be wary of my surroundings
Right.
and environment.
Mm.
A follow up. So, how long do you think it'll take to fully get that off?
I don't know because I've been like that.
Never.
I've been like that for the past like 11 years,
Uh-huh.
10, 11 years. But like, especially like the latter half of my career, like the last like 5 years of my career, it got really bad because we got to the point where there were like a lot of Sassing fans like following us around and stuff. So
yeah.
I always, when I drive back home from work nowadays, even like nowadays, I always make sure there's no car like tailing me, no car following me.
Damn.
If I think there's a car like following me, I'll go around my house like area and I'll like make a few blocks around.
Oh
to make
my
sure they're
God.
actually not following me, and yeah, just like a lot of stuff like that.
That is intense. That's
Scary.
Yeah, that feels like I don't know, a James Bond mission or something. You're always like looking at the rear mirror and someone's like following you. Like, wow, trying to like.
It gets pretty intense.
Mhm.
Wow.
I remember because we used to be roommates for a while,
Oh.
and do you remember that one time we were living in that house,
Mhm.
and I had a CCTV staring out the front gate,
Mhm.
and there was like a lady. Do you remember just standing
Oh
in front of
my-
the front gate? And I was like, "What is she doing there?"
Hey Joel, go check that out.
Yeah, and as soon as you open the door, like
They ran away.
She ran away.
Oh
and I was
my
like,
God. So
Come
she
back
knew,
here.
she investigated your address and she was standing there. And like,
Yes.
I don't even know how she
wow,
found that address.
that's like
but-
from Parasite. You
Mhm.
know that scene?
Yeah, but I mean, there are like a lot of like weird experiences. Like when I
That's
was living in
crazy.
dorms, like we used to live on I think the 17th floor. There have been times where like fans would be waiting in like the stairway
Oh my God, that is so creepy.
of the apartment. There are times where fans like would be waiting in the parking lot of the apartment, and like that like really stressed me out a lot.
Of course it would.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Yeah, just like the lack of privacy, which is why like
Yeah.
I tend to be wary of my surroundings.
You're always like looking behind your shoulder and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I can never really truly be, I guess, free when I'm
yeah,
out.
your body just has that DNA now. Like you
Yeah,
know,
pretty
you-
much.
Yeah. Okay. Joel, anything?
About things that I still carry with me.
Yes.
Definitely not acting a fool in public.
I mean,
Because some like I'm a very animated person.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, but like, yeah, I curse. So what?
Mm-hmm.
But I won't go like be super crazy outside.
Yeah.
Even if it's me being funny or trying to be funny.
Uh-huh.
And cursing's funny, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
So like, I'll try not to do that if it's in a very public space.
You can do it on this podcast.
Yeah, I know.
do you guys curse on your podcast?
We do. Occasionally. Yeah.
Occasionally?
We usually put the little beep.
Oh,
or something
okay,
like,
okay,
well, it
okay.
depends on what the word is.
Depends on what the word is. The F bomb.
Is it a D or is it a hard F? Because
Yeah,
hard F. You know what? We got to, it's
if it's F,
different.
beep.
Yeah. Okay. But you don't act crazy too much.
Yeah,
outside,
I don't like if I'm just in a quiet space between friends, like
Mhm.
my friends know what I'm like. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
I mean, granted, like even if we weren't in this line of work, like I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go out
crazy
and-
in the beginning.
I'm not gonna go outside and be like offensive to people and just annoy people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
you're that crazy
that's
drunk
just
guy.
a crazy person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. I mean,
exactly.
but there's a difference between like keeping yourself cordial in front of others that you
Yeah.
don't know,
Mhm.
and then also like the level that I'm talking about.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
It's kind of hard to
it's-
differentiate.
Especially since you guys are still in the media
Mhm.
space, you always have to be careful
Yeah.
about your image and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's same for me too. Like I'm not like a very well-known YouTuber or anything, but like I avoid certain places like Hongdae, Itaewon, where
yeah.
there's a dense foreigner
Hey, Korean
population.
Pizza Club guy.
There's just like coming out, you're the YouTube guy, right? And I'm like,
Really?
yeah, I'm just passing by. Please respect my privacy.
I feel so invaded.
Yeah,
On a
yeah,
Tinder
yeah,
date,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you're that guy. Oh, my mom's calling me. I gotta go. Bye.
Stuff like that. Okay. But yeah, you guys mentioned living together and
Mhm.
stuff, right? So I assume that you lived in dorms when you were in the idol stage, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yes. I moved out of my dorms 2017, I would say.
2017.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so and you guys moved together after that.
Oh, no, so I was living by myself and he
Uh-huh.
was living by himself.
Uh-huh.
And we just happened, he happened to just move in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
yeah,
Very
that's how that came
organic.
about. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And how was that? Like after the whole dorm experience, like living alone, I feel like that would give you a lot of freedom and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was kind of like going back into college, to be honest.
College.
Like, cause I lived in like dormitories and stuff in college.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, now you get to live with your friend. Like, it's fun.
Yeah. It was like a frat house almost.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
A lot of drinking
Uh-huh.
amongst
course.
ourselves.
And a lot of this was during the COVID pandemic.
Oh.
So like, what else was there to do?
The only place
if
to
we're gonna
be.
be honest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But were there any like struggles or funny stories related to like you guys living together or back in the idle days, like living in dorms and stuff?
A funny story when we were living together.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
What
I
happened?
mean, there's a lot. How long is this episode?
I mean, so
I don't know. You tell it.
the story that came into my mind was we went bowling one time.
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
I think the next day or that night, like in like the AM, like 1 a.m., he's like, "Oh, my chest really hurts. I can't breathe.
Oh no.
You gotta take me to the emergency room." So we
Mhm.
went, and he ended up just having like a pulled chest muscle because of bowling.
But it was really painful, man.
Of
like-
course,
like,
I
he
imagine.
was like, "I think something's wrong with like." My
I was like, oh,
heart." And I
심장 마비, 심장 마비.
yeah, I was like, "You're having a heart attack? What's going on?" And
I literally thought it was, of
Yeah.
course. And then I threw down about $1,000 just to get all the tests and stuff.
Oh my
I was so
God.
mad. And he was
Yeah.
like, you just have a pulled muscle. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
yeah.
Give my money back.
On the bright side, you had Aaron next to you.
That's true.
Like, to go to the emergency room, yeah, together.
In the event that it was a heart attack, he
Uh-huh.
would have saved my life.
Of course.
So,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah. But now it's a funny story since
Yeah,
it
there you
was
go.
okay. Yeah.
Although, like, I made fun of him the whole time we're at the hospital because
Yeah.
he's like deathly afraid of needles.
I really don't like needles.
Oh, really?
So he's like,
It freaks me out.
and I'm just like laughing, like taking videos and photos of him.
Be glad that it happened so you can air out all my laundry on this podcast. Thank you.
Okay.
Funny stories.
The
Oh,
funny
man.
story. Yeah. So one question that everybody asks is like, if you would go back, would you be a K-pop idol again? Would you choose to be a K-pop artist again?
Yeah, I think it's an
Definitely?
easy yes for me.
Yes, but not at the same company.
Oh.
Because not a snowball's chance in hell that I'll go back there.
Okay.
Like, no.
So,
I would have been smart. I would have started earlier too. I think.
Started
Way
earlier.
Yeah.
When did you start?
I actually started pretty late.
Which was
21.
21. Okay.
Was when I got casted as a trainee. 21, 22, something like that.
So
right?
relatively nowadays, people start at like,
Like
middle school,
13,
high school,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have started way earlier.
Was it the case for you guys, like the industry back then too, like 13, 14 starting?
No, actually, I think when I debuted, when our group debuted, we were the youngest group.
Really?
So I debuted when I was 20 in Korean age. My other members were 18.
Okay. 18 was like the lowest.
Yeah, so we're 18.4 is like the average age that we had. We were the youngest group at the time. So
Okay. So it's like a recent phenomenon that the debut age is getting younger and younger.
yeah,
and
the
younger.
kids are like getting so young now. It's
Yeah.
Well, I think there was a few people in the early days.
Yeah, there were like
Right.
a few
like
people.
Boa, who came out when she
Oh.
was 13.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like really, there's a few cases of it, but I
Mhm.
think in
Now it's-
general, it's gotten way young.
Yeah.
I think a
Mm.
little too young actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, way too young.
Yeah. I don't know how the contracts work with children and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
but related to that though, like if you could go back and if you had other options other than K-pop idol, what kind of occupation would you choose?
So if I wasn't a K-pop idol,
Mhm.
I actually wanted to go to school for journalism.
Okay.
Because I've always been a strong writer.
Uh-huh.
A lot of my teachers in high school told me that I'm really good at writing.
Yeah.
Even on my SAT, I got a perfect score on the writing section.
Whoa.
But
Yeah.
I got 800 out of 800 in the writing section, guys. But no, so I definitely wanted to pursue writing in some sort of fashion.
Uh-huh.
So I applied to NYU.
Mm-hmm.
I got accepted,
Mm-hmm.
but I ended up not going because I came to Korea right after high school.
Damn.
So yeah, I think I would have been a journalist,
Journalist.
probably.
Wow.
Maybe not. Who knows?
New York Times.
Yeah, New York
New York
Times.
Times. Who knows?
Okay.
Times Magazine, guys. Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, I got casted while I was in college, like I mentioned, and I had the opportunity, or not the opportunity. My company was actually pressuring me to just not finish college
Really?
and drop out, so
What?
that I could concentrate on my my career. And I was like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, of course.
So I ended up finishing through. I actually got a bachelor's degree in political science and international relations at Yonsei University.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I it was kind of like a backup thing for me. Like if this doesn't work out, I can still get this and go get a nice job somewhere else. You know, it was kind of like that. But luckily things sort of worked out a little bit better in this end. So, but I still have it to fall back on if I need it. You know?
Wow, we have two smart guys in the room. Yes. Okay. Yeah. But circling back a little bit to the, you know, the saseng stories and stuff like that. I'm sure like it happens less often than the old days, probably. But do you nowadays still experience like, you know, some Clout-chasers around you, sasengs, or like any kind of people that are trying to like leech out of her reputation or like the K-pop idol status and stuff like that?
You can answer that.
I mean,
I don't have that many fans, so
I mean, like sasengs, definitely not nowadays. Like, there are none. So thank you to all the fans for, you know, respecting my privacy. But like I don't want to call them leeches, but you know, like Clout-chasers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are a few
There's
people.
snakes in the grass, and the grass is real tall.
Yep. there have been quite a few snakes. Especially when I was like at the peak of my career, there were like a lot of people that like
coming out the woodwork.
Yep. Like when I wasn't doing so hot, you know, like be like, hey, you wanna go out for a drink? They wouldn't answer my calls. They wouldn't text me back. You know, 익십.
Yeah.
And like 갑자기 잘 나가니까, you know what I mean? Like now that like I'm like doing well for myself, it's like, you know, hey, what are you doing? Let's go out for a drink. Like, you know, we have to go eat. You know, it's been like so many years. I'm just like, I cut all those people out of my life.
Makes sense.
I have a very small circle of people that I trust. And yeah, I think that's the way that I function. I don't like to have a big friend circle. He knows I probably have like 3 to 4 people.
We're the type of people we barely leave the house unless it's for like,
Same.
you know, this. It's been days since I left my house.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of similar with the YouTuber space as well and the whole influencer space. There's so many like Clout-chasers and these networking parties, and everybody's just trying to like, you know, oh, what's your Instagram? You know, let me get.
I hate that.
That is my biggest pet peeve. Like, it's like, if you want to hang out with me and get to know me, talk to me first, have a conversation.
Yeah.
Ask me for my phone number.
Right.
At the end of the meeting. Don't ask about my Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, why? I mean, maybe I'm just old fashioned.
No. I'm the same way, but we're old though. But I mean,
we are.
But I'm just like, I'm like, when someone asks me, it's like one of the first things they ask me is what my Instagram is or something like that. Like, I immediately know that after this meeting or whatever this is over. I'm not going to talk to this person.
Yeah.
I understand that that's the way the world works now. Like, you know, I'm not that old. So like, I understand that it's the SNS generation, you know, these Zoomers running around on their TikToks and all that stuff.
Like you sound so much like me. I mean,
I'm like,
I hate TikTok. I hate like those Gen Z, you know, rituals and all that kind of stuff. So oh my God.
I'm like, hey, you want to be in my TikTok challenge? I'm like, if I really don't know you that well, you know, but it's not okay. So if an artist were to ask me to do that, right? Like, you know, this dance challenge, I would do it. That's cool. I like that. That's fine. However, if it's like, hey, like you know, you should do this, like, you know, this cute little dance thing. I'm like, hell no.
I mean, the first thing you ask is like, do you want to do this TikTok challenge with me? That's kind of, I don't know how people actually socialize with those kind of stuff.
Because like back in the day, it's like you meet someone like, hey, like what's your name? Like how old are you? Like where do you go to school? What are your hobbies? You know what I mean? Like those are like general like icebreaker questions. But nowadays it's like, hey, what's your Instagram? How many followers do you have?
Yeah.
We should follow each other. And it's just like, bro, like come on.
Follow this. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's like, it's funny for me because like I do have like the blue check thingy on Instagram, and then when I give them my account and then they look up my account and they see the blue check, they're like immediately their eyes like kind of glow up a little bit. It's like they have expectations for you, and it's like, oh, you have a blue tick. You know? And then they start acting weird, and that's kind of like iffy.
Be gone. We don't got time for that.
No.
But on the flip side, I would imagine that you do have some kind of, you know, benefits from the reputation as well, right? So what kind of advantages or, you know, benefits have you gotten out of the idol career after?
Advantages that I've gotten out of idol career.
It got me being an ex-idol got me onto the TV show that got me into my company now.
Of course.
There you go.
Yeah. Professionally, you would have a lot of benefits, of course.
Yeah, I think like professionally, like, you know, just like, even though I'm not in a company, I'm a freelancer, there's still like tons of work that's coming in my way, which I'm very thankful for.
Yeah.
In terms of like advantages of being an idol. Are there any advantages of being an idol?
I mean,
I mean,
I guess
obviously, like having fans that'll support you no matter what.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest advantage.
True.
And the biggest blessing that you can have as
Mhm.
being an idol. But I can't really think on the top.
Have you ever had like an example like maybe you go to a restaurant or a cafe and the maybe owner or employee knows you and they're like, no, this is service, you know, that stuff.
Oh
like that.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
I've been with you when that happened.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I mean-
happened many times.
Oh, really?
I mean, like those are like good advantages. Like I'm always like grateful. Thank you guys.
Little
Comes-
perks.
감사합니다.
Mhm.
But you know, there's like little perks like here and there. Like yeah, definitely like
That's
stuff
nice.
like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's nice. And do you get any like, you know, sponsored fashion items or like, you know, shoes or any kind of like that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think anybody that is like has a lot of
Following?
followers or like, you know, some kind of like influencer status on
Yeah.
Instagram or
Mhm.
any of these places knows that, you know, you get DMs saying like, hey, you want to sponsor our thing for us? We'll give you so and so. We'll give you product for free. We'll just post it,
Mhm,
whatever.
mhm.
I get them sometimes, and then but I'll only accept them if I actually like it.
Like them.
Yeah, I'm not because I'm not. It's not going to be a page full of stuff like that. But
Right,
if I really
right.
like it, I'll do it. But other
Right.
than that, yeah.
Yeah.
not really.
Mhm,
Nice.
mhm. You guys both have an American background. So I'm wondering, like, what made you stay in Korea after the idol activities? You
It's
could have gone to the States or you could have gone anywhere actually. Yeah, right?
There's
Because America sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
It does kind of
No, it is.
I
It's
mean,
just
nowadays.
yeah, nowadays, like I think that's like one of the big factors. Honestly, for me, it's American culture has gotten like so weird. It's in a
Yeah.
weird space right now, and that's not the way that I was raised, and that's not the way that I grew up in
Uh-huh.
America. Obviously, you know, times and society does change, but it's a little too fast paced for me at the moment.
yeah,
So,
American
you know,
culture.
American culture, I feel like it's a little convoluted at this point.
Okay.
yeah.
That's one of the biggest factors. But I think the biggest factor for me is I've been in Korea since I was 18.
Yeah.
I'm 30 now.
Mhm.
Wow. But just I'm so used to the Korean.
That sound effect.
But like no, I'm just so used to the Korean lifestyle now. Right, grandpa.
So
I'm,
good.
I'm just so used to the Korean lifestyle now.
Mm.
And honestly, like all I know is this because I've been doing this since I was 18.
Mhm.
And honestly, like I can't think of another line of work that I'd be able to do proficiently
Mm.
and efficiently. So I think that's part of the reason why I'm also in Korea. Just
Okay.
continuing my career.
Mm. I mean, I know, especially you guys have the English advantage, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So I know a lot of ex-idols that go solo and then they just do solo activities in America or Singapore or
Yeah.
all those kind of places. So like, but you guys are sticking to
Mhm.
Korea, right? So I mean, there must have been a good reason for that. So that's why I was like asking. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, because like a lot of our friends that
Mm.
were originally part of our friend circle group or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, that were idols or are
Uh-huh.
idols still, like, you know, they either group disbands or their contracts end and they go
Mm.
back to the States or whatever.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those people just never really got as acclimated to Korea as we did. You know what I mean? Some people adapt well and some people
That's a
don't.
good point.
You know,
Mm.
For our case, I think we did.
Yeah.
And for me, like, for example, and him both, I think it's been so long that the country that we left
Uh-huh.
when we lived there
Yeah.
is no longer the country that we remember.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
in terms of culture.
Okay.
You know, the way that things have changed.
Uh-huh.
You know, so like,
Could you be a little bit more specific about how the culture changed?
like when I go back now,
Uh-huh.
you know, I go back to the States like once, sometimes twice a year.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it's just everything has changed so much. Like the way that people talk to each other has changed,
Uh-huh.
the political climate, the social climate.
Okay.
Everything is just so different. You
Really?
know, so it's just not something that I'm used to.
Uh-huh.
And I'm so used to how it is here
Uh-huh.
that like why put myself through having to learn all of that again.
Right.
You know, like it's
Why do I have to tip?
yeah, exactly. You know, it's even stuff like tipping.
20%.
Stuff like tipping or taxes not being included on the price of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm not used to it now. I'm just
Right.
like, this is just, I mean, why?
Yeah.
Because you are a product of your environment, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
like you've been here since 2006. What is that? Like 17 years?
It's been forever.
I've been here since 2011, which is
Yeah.
like 12 years now.
Mhm.
So it's like, you know, we're like so accustomed to Korea now.
Mhm.
And we spent our early adulthood,
Hmm.
our whole 20s in Korea. So
Yeah.
I think, you know, I feel like you develop the most as a person in your 20s.
Mhm.
And so like, I feel like we're definitely, I feel like I'm definitely more like maybe a little more on the Korean side
Me
than
too.
the American side.
Okay.
Mhm.
Honestly, I identify, but
Hmm.
identification.
No, identification. That's a nice answer. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But would you consider living abroad in the future?
Abroad, as in America or somewhere else?
Somewhere else. Yeah. Let's open the doors to other places. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, you know, I would love to, if I got married and had kids, I would love to raise them in America. Only because, just thinking about my childhood.
Yeah, in Korea or in the
America.
States? Oh, in
the
America,
States.
yeah.
I would love to raise my kids in America, raise my kids the way that I was raised.
Yeah, here it's like hagwons and
it's a lot of hagwons and
competition and stressful.
Because me growing up, my parents were strict, but like they were never like, you need to get A+ on everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got to C here, you got to be there. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I used to be a very like active kid. I would never be at home or on the computer playing games.
Right.
I would go ride bikes with my friends, play basketball,
right,
play golf, whatever it may be. But I think just having that outdoor activity lifestyle when I was younger.
Very true. Yeah.
It's has made me a better, I think, social person.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's better for your mental health as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. As a person that's gone through the standard Korean education system, like, that's not a good childhood, honestly. Yeah. Joel, you said you were in Yonsei University, right?
Yeah.
So did you go through the Korean Suneung or like?
No, I did not. I went to the SAT system.
Oh, SAT system. Okay. So
yeah, because even though like I speak Korean and all that stuff, like, I still had to apply technically as a foreign student.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got into the foreign.
Okay.
circuit.
Okay. Did you notice the competitiveness inside?
Honestly, listen, this is no shade to people that go to Yonsei because I loved going there. It was so much fun, but it made me realize that I think a lot of people, maybe it's just the people I surrounded myself with. I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of people that I went to school with, me personally, studied really hard in high school and just partied through college. I'm gonna be honest, like what I saw. Even it's a very prestigious university, but still, like I saw a lot of partying going on.
Course.
So I don't,
they want the compensation.
That's college, though. What do you mean?
It's college.
I mean,
Right. Would you live abroad in another country in the future?
The States, not even if you paid me. No way.
Wow, you're very
no
strict about that. Okay.
No, never. And then maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think where I would possibly go. Maybe like
Canada.
No. North America's off the table.
Really?
I'm thinking New Zealand.
Maybe.
Wow,
you want the nature, a little laid back.
I want a little bit of quiet, but not North America. They're fired. I'm kidding, but I don't want to move to North America.
He's like, I'm kidding. But yeah, no.
I don't know. I need to move to some island. Somewhere that's
Japan.
Maybe. Okay, you know what? No, I take that back. I might move to Hawaii, even though it's technically the United States. It's not the mainland, but I would maybe move there because I used to live there, and it is really, really fun. Although I don't know how it's changed since 1996, but we'll see.
What about Guam?
Guam's good too, but that's a territory, not a state. So
I mean, true.
So it's iffy. But I like Guam. Guam's nice.
Guam. Okay. I'd like to go to Bali. Yeah.
Bali.
I heard it's really good for digital nomads, entrepreneurs, like freelancers.
There's a lot of people that are self-employed, self-starter people that do like the vagabond life. A lot of them live there for quite a while.
Wow.
Yeah. You should try it out for your phase. A phase in your life.
Oh man, maybe.
Yeah.
Bali. I mean, I've been to Guam and Hawaii and every other place under the sun that's like warm and tropical. But Bali's next, y'all.
I mean, if you guys just like agreed amongst yourself, like if we hypothetically think you have plenty of jobs over there as well, you can move the Korean Cowboys podcast, physically
in a cabana while drinking cocktails on the beach.
Yeah, on the beach.
Yeah, with a hammock between two palm trees.
Wait, this is interesting though. Like Joel, you have been pretty outspoken about like you don't like America right now, right?
No. Okay, so I didn't say I didn't like America. Okay. I find it to be very unfamiliar with me.
Okay.
And when I go there, it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Living there. I feel very antsy.
Okay.
Especially with a lot of the things that you see in the news and all that. Like, I'm not used to that. I have a lot of Kpop. Like I'm scared of things.
Oh, okay.
So like I'm not trying to like.
You don't hate or anything. No negative feelings.
I mean, I'm American.
Right.
And my dad is, white. So,
so I was leading too. Like I never actually got to ask, like, why is it Korean Cowboys? Because Cowboys is like an American Western, culture, Wild West. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we were just sitting in my house one day, like we were just brainstorming names. And I think there was like a cactus like lighting or something in my house. And he and I both like drinking whiskey. So we're just like, Cowboys like whiskey,
cactus.
It's a cactus. Why not call ourselves the Cowboys?
It's cool. Yeah, Cowboys
and
are cool.
My father's side of the family come from Arizona. They moved there during the Wild West. So like my family has a lot of history in the Wild West. back the 1800s and stuff like that. So
wow, there's a
I was
heritage.
I was like, hey, yeah, it's like a generational thing. Let's get it going. You know?
Okay, okay, yeah. I think it's a nice podcast name. Yeah.
Thank you.
It rolls off the tongue. You should have seen what we came up before that, because there were some tragic ones in there.
Can you open some?
I don't even remember, but I remember reading. I was
remember.
like, dang, this sounds so stupid. Like,
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, even for the Korean Pizza Club, I was like, a lot of people were like, "What is it? Are you like Pizza Hut or something?" But I just stuck with it.
Pizza school.
Yeah, people know what it means by like my first cringy intro, so I'm just like fine with it now.
We like the name. We like the name.
Thank you. So yeah, the producer of your show, I was contacting with him, and he said like, "Oh, we should name this show the Korean Pizza Cowboys Club podcast or whatever." Like
That's a long ass name.
Yeah. Korean Cowboys.
Is that many characters allowed in the YouTube title? Because I don't think so.
Yeah, KPCPC or whatever.
Sounds like a political organization.
Yeah.
What is it?
Anyways, okay. A little bit more about the American factor, though. Like you said, you guys are like very assimilated to Korea by now, and you like being in Korea. But when you were in your idol phase, or even after, do you find it like easy to like find very close friends because of the language barrier or the cultural differences and that kind of stuff?
In Korea.
Yes, in Korea.
I have a lot of Korean friends. I think most of my friends in
Korean friends you're talking about. Okay.
I think I have more Korean friends than I have
Really?
foreign
That's
friends.
very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because like
For
I
sure.
know a lot of Korean Americans around me, and they tend to like stick around the English speaking circle.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Huh.
There's definitely nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, birds of a feather flock together, as they say.
Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with hanging around with, you know,
The familiar.
people familiar. Yeah.
Right,
But I mean, I think there's a lot of merit to going outside of your comfort zone to, like, you know, be forced to speak more Korean, to utilize the Korean mannerisms and cultures and stuff like that.
Right.
It really opens your eyes to what maybe you didn't know before. And for a lot of Korean Americans that actually might have problems speaking Korean.
Yeah.
The best way, that's how I did it. The only reason I got so good at Korean was because I was forced to live in a dorm with all these Korean guys. I was the only foreigner. So like definitely going out of that comfort zone and meeting new people opens your eyes to a lot of things and opens a lot of opportunities. And you meet some really, really great people. So yeah.
But like you brought up a very good point. I think a lot of Korean Americans are afraid to hang out and get close to Korean people because of that language barrier.
Yeah.
But like you said, you know, like we are very fluent in Korean. Like sometimes like I'll just speak Korean to people that I first meet, and they're like, and if I speak English, like, oh, like are you an American? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, I thought you were Korean.
Yeah.
But like definitely hanging out with a lot of Korean people, like whatever country you may go to, right? Like you can go to China and like you hang out with a lot of Chinese people. Your Chinese is gonna get better. You know what I mean? Like, so I think hanging out with Korean people has definitely helped us understand the culture a little bit better and also get better at the Korean language.
Okay. So what country do you consider your home now? Is it Korea, America?
대한민국. That's all you need to know.
That came out fast. Okay.
No, I mean, that's me. I mean, what about you?
No, I think definitely like for me to Korea. I've been here for so long. I'm so used to the lifestyle now.
Right.
I've definitely identify Korea as
my American passport doesn't even have a state on it.
Does
That's
it really
how long
not?
I've been here. Yeah. Because usually it says like issued by the state of Florida or whatever.
Yeah.
Mine is actually issued by the Department of Defense.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't technically have residency in the States. So, you know, technically I'm a resident of this country now.
Wow.
Mine still says California, but my parents moved to Georgia like years ago.
Yeah, but they have residency there. I don't have residency anywhere in the States.
That's so interesting.
Even though I have a passport. So, Department of Defense.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. It's been like an hour already, so let me just wrap it up. Yeah. But I just want to ask, like, beyond this phase right now, what kind of plans or goals do you have for the future?
I think for me personally, I think for both of us, I can speak for both of us when I say I think we do want to get the Korean Cowboys podcast off its feet. It has been a little slow recently, but we are revamping.
Stagnated.
A little stagnated right now. So
Same here.
So we are, trying to get it off its feet, revamping for season 4. So I think focusing on that is one of our main goals. And personally for me, I think I'm like content with like the way I'm living right now. I have nothing to complain about. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at.
Okay.
In my life at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. Like he said, get definitely the Korean Cowboys podcast, getting that roller coaster moving. And then also, just taking the next step in my career, because even though I am an ex-idol and all that whoop-de-whoop, like I never really hit that really prestigious high level of success, you know, that he's had the honor of experience. And, you know, I haven't been able to do that yet. So I'm just taking steps to get up there.
Okay.
Yeah, do my thing, you know. Just live day by day. I don't know, get abs. Like I've been trying.
Get abs.
I'm in the gym these days.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, that's my goal. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody's so obsessed with like, you know, body profiles and like fitness in Korea.
I'm not going that far though.
Yeah.
No one's gonna have me dieting for 3 months, please.
Okay. Well, I think it's very realistic and professional goals. Yeah. And do you have any advice for people who want to enter the K-pop industry?
Yeah, I think we touched upon it a little bit, but definitely if you do want to become a Korean singer in Korea, you do have to adapt. You do have to adapt to the Korean standards. You do have to conform to some degree, whether you like it or not, or else it's not going to work out. And also, I think just if you put your head down and grind, you know, I think, you know, good things will come. Yeah. So I think, just working hard, I think is the most important thing you can do.
I think for me is don't get in the mindset that I had, the big mistake that I had, which was just because you debut doesn't mean anything.
Because that's harsh.
Because there's got to be at least 10,000 trainees in Korea. And out of those 10,000, a couple hundred a year debut.
Right.
And out of the couple hundred that debut, like 1% of that actually does well. So like just because you debut doesn't mean diddly squat. You know, I mean, I guess it's good in you know, out of 10,000 you've managed to debut, sure, but like it doesn't really mean anything in the long run. So stay humble, like stay humble, keep working hard. Just because you debut doesn't mean you can slack off or relax, you know. Just gotta, like you said, nose to the grindstone.
Right. That is great advice. Yeah. And I think like a more fit question for this episode in particular would be for people who might have gotten out of the idol phase and they're trying to like, you know, find their own jobs and their own like, you know, dreams for the future. What kind of advice could you provide them?
I would say experiment. Because, you know, while you're under contract, there are a lot of things that you can't do. And I'm sure a lot of people that are ex-idols, there's probably a lot of things they wanted to do. Yeah. So I would say, you know, once you get out of contract and you're alone, you know, definitely, you know, brainstorm on what you've been wanting to do. And like I said, experiment. Just, you know, see what works, see what doesn't. You know, find your niche.
Find your niche.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think for me, and I've actually, a lot of the people that I know that used to be idols and, you know, they ask me, some of my members who are no longer entertainers or celebrities in any way, you know, I think that you shouldn't stay in anything that you don't want to do. And I feel like if you don't want to be an entertainer anymore, you'll know. Okay. Like you'll just know on the inside, like I'm ready to move on. Right. That I was never ready to move on. That's why I'm still here now. But if you are ready to move on, don't force yourself to stay. Like find other things to do in life. Like life is not just about this. You know, there's more to do than just try to be famous or try to, you know what I mean? Like there's other things you can do with your life.
Could you give me an example of like one of your friends or ex-members that are successful outside of the media and like, you know, idol city?
So like I said, I had eight members and all of my members now pretty much, except for me, are no longer in the entertainment industry. One of them actually left when the group disbanded. Right. Went back to college, got his degree, and is now working at a 대기업회사. Wow. Which is SK.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And another one is actually the 대표, 사장님 of a really successful
company, startup?
Restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're doing pretty well for themselves.
So diverse.
Yeah, they really knew like what their strengths were, and they didn't let their dreams when they were a kid, you know, hold them back from going on to be successful and happy.
Yeah. I mean, like for like the ex-idols, like let's say disbanded because they weren't doing so well, it might seem like your world is crashing down on you, but that's only one aspect of the whole world in general. You're in a bubble of K-pop. Once you understand that you're in a bubble and there are a multitude of different things that you can do, I think that makes moving on with life a little easier.
Yeah, because listen, if you get successful in investing or something like that, while you're on your private plane eating caviar and sipping champagne, you ain't gonna be worried about when you 망해 as an idol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might look bad right now, but you know, like when you are successful later on in your life, you'll probably just look back and laugh on it. Like
I look back and laugh at it now. How terrible my disbandment was. I'm like, I remember that. You know?
Yeah, the good old days. Yeah, but I have so much respect for idols, whether they're successful, famous, or unpopular. popular or whatever, because I feel like at the core, everyone tries so hard, works so hard, you know, practices so hard. So it's like a kind of experience that you don't usually get to experience during that age bracket for normal people, right? Normal people, I'm not trying to like degrade normal people's efforts as well, but like, you know, the physical pain and the tenacious schedules and everything you have to go through, it's like so different. And with that grind and with that experience, I feel like you can go to any sector, and if you just, you know, persevere and put that effort, the same amount of effort into that, you'll be successful. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, sorry to keep dragging this on.
No.
But like, you know, I look at it this way, like, you know, people that are idols or were idols, you know, you get to experience something that no one else gets to experience. It's such a unique experience in life, you know. So, you know, I think you could, like you said, can take that and turn it into a lot of different things, and just be happy that you get to experience something so unique in life.
Yeah, I think definitely like you have the work mentality, you have the grind, you have the networks, connections, and all that kind of stuff. So definitely good. Okay, so wow, now it's really time to close. But for the closing, our assistant Veronica prepared a very nice question. I was really impressed with this question. So try to introduce yourself again, but without mentioning where you're from, your occupation, and age. Only about yourself. This is a really deep.
So no occupation, where we're from, no age.
Yeah. Just like I'm who, like I enjoy to do this, blah blah blah.
Okay, this is hard. Hi everyone, my name's Aaron. My MBTI is ISFP.
Say that again. What?
My MBTI is ISFP.
ISFP. Okay.
I don't know what that means. I just know it because it's a trend. I'm blood type A.
I love it. I love how you're going the whole Korean, you know, standard introduction route. Okay.
My hobbies are golf.
Golf.
I actually used to play golf in high school. But,
really?
I just got back into golf recently, so hopefully I can get my handicap back down. And I have a dog named Gulsun. She's a little sweetheart. And I like Korean food.
Okay.
It's tough.
Yeah,
I like soju.
It is tough, right?
Hi, my name is Joel. I'm 183 centimeters tall, and I weigh anywhere between 73 to 76, depending on how much sodium I had the night before. My shoe size is...
Is this like a model casting?
10 and a half. You got any work? Let's see.
What's your MBTI?
INFJ. I have an INFJ MBTI. I'm an O blood type, one of the rare ones. So in case y'all need me, definitely look me up. Send me. I'm kidding. I sweat easily, as you guys can see. I don't. What? I
You got a mustache.
I got a little bit of a sweat stash going, but
what do you enjoy? What is your passion? I feel like that should be a big part.
My passion. But that mentions my job. Damn it.
It doesn't matter. If it's innovative.
My passion is to make people laugh. That should tell you a lot.
Oh, yeah.
My passion is to make people laugh or cry. I don't know.
Can you tell us a joke?
Putting him on the spot right now.
The type of jokes that I tell are not appropriate.
That's true. That's very true.
And you know that's true.
Yes.
Oh my God. I need to turn off the cameras and get a taste of that.
Yeah. He and I have a dirty sense of humor. Like,
filthy.
A little dark.
Joel's a born entertainer then. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just obvious that he's in the media sector and like still doing podcasts and stuff like that. So all the best luck to you guys. To the Korean Cowboys. Hopefully we grow up together. I always believe like when the pie gets bigger and bigger, everyone has like a bigger chunk.
Was that a pizza joke?
No,
it was.
Yeah, no pun intended. No pun intended.
Okay, yeah. Eminem, calm down over there with the little.
But yeah, when I was starting this, I was like, I'm gonna take over Dive Studios and all that kind of stuff.
Oh
but
my God.
now it's like, nah, you know, like I'm content. Like if everyone gets bigger, everyone gets a big chunk.
Yes. Together,
yes.
We can take. I'm kidding. We love Dive Studios, guys.
I was on Dive Studios, so like, okay, no shade.
Also like the podcast like sphere in Korea is like so small right now.
We can all grow it together, us and Dive.
Exactly. That's why I started. It was like such a blue ocean. No like Korean English speaking podcasts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Into the new world, as they say.
So I feel like we should definitely do more collaborations and like, more interaction and more publicity. So let's do that. Thank you for coming again, guys.
Oh, thank you for inviting us.
Yes, it was an amazing episode. I feel like I'll have a very hard time editing this because I don't know which parts to take out or leave. Maybe I'll just put it out as a whole. This was the Korean Pizza Club. Thank you for listening. You can listen to it on all podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts. 5-star reviews, please. And support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Korean Pizza Club. It helps us going. And that was it. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Bye. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Is that your closing?
Yeah, that's our closing.
Oh, let's do it, actually. How do you do it?
3, 2, 1.
Yeehaw. Okay.
There you go.
Now I need a closing minute.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye. Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Oh, no, that was fun.
Why is it-